everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So finally, Captain America Civil War is out in the US, so now I can drop the spoiler video. Thank God. That was like the longest week ever. If you haven't seen it already, I put a picture up here. I did a post-credit talk. It's just a bit spoiler filled, not as much as what I'm going to talk about here. So if you want to go and check that out before this, great, go and check it out now. Just a warning, if you haven't seen the film yet, then I would definitely avoid this video unless you're the kind of person, like I said in the other video, that you just can't help yourself and want to be spoiled. Then just watch your way and again be delighted with the spoilery goodness. If you haven't seen it yet but you want to know what's going on and it's not spoiled, I'll put a picture here again. I did a non-spoiler review, so go and check that out. It's a bit low on views, to be honest. I kind of thought it was going to be a bit bigger, but okay. So let's kick things off. Sokovia Accords. Scarlet Witch is pretty much the head of the point of why the Sokovia Accords have been put in place. She blows up Crossbones with her powers. So Crossbones, he, you know, at the start he's kicking things off in Africa, and the Avengers are working together, minus the Vision. I must say I didn't see the Vision in there much, but yeah. So Captain America clears out a building. And gets Scarlet Witch to help out and stuff like that. Then he gets to the point where they've got Crossbones and he decides to blow himself up. Before he gets a chance to, Scarlet Witch catches the explosion with her powers and tries to levitate him towards the sky just to take care of the explosion, but accidentally puts it inside of a building, killing lots of people. That's where the Sokovia Accords pretty much kickstart from. So it's kind of it revolves around Scarlet Witch. In a nutshell, it's kind of pointing the finger at her that the Avengers need to be put in check in a sense. So as the film progresses, we'll see Iron Man and Captain America just go head to head at times, and it kind of boils up to the point where they do eventually fight. Which I'm just going to skip right through to the fight scene, because other than that, there's not much you can talk about that's you can spoil. This film has probably got the least amount of spoilers I've ever seen from a film. You had Empire Strikes Back with Darth Vader as Luke Skywalker's dad. Then you've got Batman v Superman where Superman dies. Sorry if you haven't seen Batman v Superman, but yeah, Superman dies. And then this one, there's not a lot to spoil, so I'm just going to go straight to the fight scene because, again, I keep saying it, it is one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen on a screen. It's probably the best superhero film I've ever seen, but the fight scene in itself was just amazing. Everyone had their own part in it. Spider-Man, amazing. I think one of my favourite bits of dialogue was, "Hey, remember that old film, Empire Strikes Back?" I think I was chuckling at that one because it did make me feel a bit old when he said that old film. Bravo, Tom Holland. Bravo. And bravo the Russo brothers as well. And also whoever wrote that script line thing. So what he was talking about there was the AT-ATs, the big walking things. If you're not quite sure what they are in Empire Strikes Back. Basically, Ant-Man says, "I'm going to try something." And I knew from the minute he said, I'm not bullshitting you, the minute he said, "I'm going to try something," I knew he was going to turn into Giant Man. And he did, and it looked absolutely unbelievable. I went to go and see the film in 3D. I wouldn't recommend it, by the way, but he looked awesome on it. And yeah, Giant Man kicked ass. It was just beautiful to see. The reference for Star Wars was for Spider-Man to use his web to wrap his webbing around the legs and bring Giant Man down. And that was the reference for Empire Strikes Back. And he does that, and I thought that was brilliant. But Giant Man was just, it's just so good. Another spoiler. So we find out at the start of the film, you see this little flashback of Winter Soldier, and he's killing someone. He's sent out to do a mission, and yeah, and we find out what that mission is at the end. Pretty much the final act of that film. We find out that Bucky kills Tony Stark's parents. That was his mission. So we find out that the reason Tony Stark's parents died, and you also seen a flash of it in Winter Soldier. Emotionally, that's where it tugs you a little bit. It was rough to watch, I'm not gonna lie, but that's what goes down. That's what brings probably the most brutal and most realistic fight that we see on there. Also, we find out that Agent 13, you know Agent 13, who was a Winter Soldier, is a relative of Peggy Carter. It's her funeral, and apparently it's her niece. And Captain America goes straight in for the kiss and gets one. And I'm going to be honest, I had a funny feeling she was related. But that was a little bit of a shock, I suppose. But yeah, Agent 13 is a Carter. Who would have thought? I think another one, it wouldn't be so much a spoiler, but it's kind of like a shock. But when you see, if you've seen the trailers, we see War Machine, Rhodey, get blown out the sky. And it's Vision's beam that catches Rhodey. And you think for a split second that's it. Like, yep, he's done for. But it turns out he's got like severe paralysis. Or, you know, he's on the verge of being paralysed from the hip from the waist down. We do see him later on in the film, I think just towards the end, ahead of Stan Lee's cameo, who is, by the way, a FedEx guy, I think, and he calls Tony Stark Tony Stank, and I don't know why, but I think Tony Stank is possibly the funniest line that Stan Lee's come out with for his cameos. It wouldn't be a Marvel film without Stan Lee. Tony Stank. There. So that's about it for the spoiler talk. Not much to really say because the non-spoiler video that I did, I'll put again up here for you, pretty much covered all the bases which I think brought the film together nicely. It is one of the best superhero films I've ever seen. I'm desperate to see it again, so hopefully I'll catch it this weekend. But yeah, in terms of spoilers, again, like I said, there wasn't a lot. The biggest one had to be find out Bucky Barnes killed Tony Stark's parents, and we've seen the repercussions of that. We've seen the fights, Bucky and Cap taking on Iron Man, which you would think that Iron Man would kill Captain America. Nope, they both walk away, and Captain America is very much alive. So we'll see him in Infinity Wars. So he'll be there, no doubt. Same with Iron Man. But there was a split second where we thought Iron Man was going to bite the bullet. Not the case. So what do you think? If there's any spoilers that I've missed out or anything you want to talk about regarding Civil War, pop in the comment section below. I would imagine it's okay to do it now because I think almost everyone has seen it. But still put spoiler captions if you're still not 100% sure. I think it's a film with the least amount of spoilers. Like I said, the Bucky one is probably the biggest one. And that's it. That's a spoiler talk done until I think we get Days of Future Past within this month, which I'm hoping to do a review on. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Like I said previously, I'll put pictures of the old videos that I've done regarding Civil War up for you. I'll put the links in the description below too. And yeah, so until I would imagine what I'm reading, I'll see you then. Geek out.